taxi and we're headed to the Bangkok, Thailand airport. I'm now relocating to Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia for the entire month. I'm so excited for this journey ahead. I could explain to you exactly what I'm doing in Mongolia, but that's what this footage is going to reveal over the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. I would also take the time to explain exactly what Mongolia is like, but I feel like other creators have done a better job at that in the past. So while I'm traveling through the airport and arriving into Mongolia, you guys can watch this informational video by the real life lore.
Mongolia is perhaps the most fascinating country in the modern world. First of all, it's huge. It's more than twice the size of Texas, and if you placed it over the United States, it would basically cover the entire historical south of the country, spanning from Philadelphia in the east to Dallas in the west. But trapped in the middle of the Eurasian continent, Mongolia is surrounded on all of its sides by hundreds of kilometers of land separating it from the ocean, making it the largest landlocked country in the world that doesn't have access to an internal sea. In theory, Kazakhstan is substantially larger than Mongolia and technically also classified as landlocked, but Kazakhstan also enjoys a nearly 1,900-kilometer-long coastline with the internal Caspian Sea, across which it can conduct maritime trade with Russia, Azerbaijan, Iran, and Turkmenistan. Mongolia, on the other hand, possesses no such direct access to any large bodies of water. And partially because of that and a whole bunch of other factors, Mongolia is quite literally the emptiest country on the planet. You see, Mongolia has more than 1.5 million square kilometers worth of land, which makes it the 18th largest country in the world in terms of overall area. But Mongolia also has a pretty tiny population of just around 3.3 million people who live across all of that land, which is basically just the same amount of people as live around San Diego in California. Because of this, Mongolia's average population density is just at around 2.1 people per square kilometer of land, which is by far the absolute lowest of any sovereign country in the world. For reference, that density of people across Mongolia is roughly a third lower than the countries who have the second and third lowest population densities in the world, Australia and Namibia, both of which have large amounts of their territories covered with vast, uninhabitable deserts. But Mongolia is somehow even emptier than all of this at first suggests. Australia has multiple large population centers with 5 cities scattered around the country that have more than 1 million residents apiece, meaning that the distribution of people around Australia is far more evenly distributed than it is in Mongolia, because despite how it appears, Mongolia is basically just one giant city-state with a ton of empty land around it that is cosplaying as the world's 18th biggest country.
So this is Mongolia. I absolutely loved it. The experience was so great. It's quite literally the most bizarre country I've ever been to so far. As of August 2024, the population is 3.4 million human individuals, and 24%, exactly 844,000 people are currently living in the city of Ulaanbaatar, aka UB, which was originally constructed to hold 400,000 humans. So around the city you'll see mass construction sites of residential buildings. Unfortunately, the country lacks critical infrastructure such as highways and train systems. So that kind of causes unpredictable heavy traffic congestion like every day, any time of the day around the city. I mean, the city is just completely gridlocked. I think it's quite interesting how about more than half of the population in Mongolia actually live on the countryside in the Mongolian wilderness. They have a nomadic traditional lifestyle, the same way that they were living 800 years ago, and yurts. Well, they call them gurs, but other people around the world also call them yurts. It's kind of cool. I actually got to stay in one for a night, which was pretty interesting. Currently, I'm en route to a lounge, bar, and restaurant where I'll be working for the month supporting their marketing efforts as well as serving their guests and greeting them at the entrance. I don't speak Mongolian, so I had to greet the guest in my native language, English, which was actually a benefit because during this time of the year, there are many Western tourists, so hearing a familiar language in a foreign country at a place where there may be no English speaking workers can remove some challenges and make the experience much smoother. I actually enjoyed this experience. While communicating with those who spoke no English, at times it was very challenging. I just really like the process of language and cultural exchange. FYI, if you ever end up in a foreign country and have trouble communicating with someone, just ensure you have a translator. Search for any kind of app from your mobile app store or purchase a device and carry it with you. It will definitely make life much easier. As you can see, we're now at the lounge, bar, and restaurant. I saw pictures of the building about 6 months before I arrived, and I gotta tell ya, it's 1,000% more elegant than what I saw in the photos. The photos just didn't do justice. I was surprised by the attention to detail and design and architecture, the cultural aesthetics, traditional quality foods, and staff friendliness were just off the roof. During my time here in Mongolia, I got the chance to experience many lounges, restaurants, bars, and clubs, and I gotta say that the staff where I was working, Crew Lounge, were by far the best. If you're ever in the city of Ulaanbaatar, I highly recommend you stop by this place and check it out, but I warn you, you just may fall in love and want to go back over and over. I'll put their logo on the screen and you can search for their Facebook or Instagram for more information. Right now I'm basically giving y'all a quick tour of the lounge minus the VIP rooms. This is hands down one of the nicest lounges I've stepped foot in so far. Every day of the week I've stepped foot into this building. I was just so amazed at what I was seeing. There are quite a few bartenders, and I'd consider them all professionals. The drinks here are banging, and they've got just about every drink you can think of. I've tried many of the cocktails on the menu, and I 100% recommend. Have you ever heard of Chinging's beer? Yeah, I had it. It was amazing. I think it's only available in Mongolia, so you gotta go. What is... How do you put this on? What is this? Where do my arms go?
You can't.
Oh, just like this?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm now preparing to work and serve lunch to incoming customers, but first we've got to get our protective gear on. Thank you. Which includes some sort of apron, hairnet, and gloves before we're able to enter the kitchen.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
You look like
Like a clown.
no, no clown. Let me take this picture. No? Now you're official.
Official.
No.
After work, some colleagues and myself went on a short 3-hour road trip out to the mountains and countryside for a local music festival called Playtime. I only went for one day, but it's a 3-day music festival that features local upcoming and top artists as well as some international artists. Every stage had a different theme and different genres of music. It started to get dark on the way there, but anyways, here's that nomadic lifestyle I was telling y'all about. They basically live off the land and their yurts as they did 800 years ago. In Mongolia, the livestock roam freely, which was something new to me. You also see the dirt road here. The countryside roads are all dirt roads. There's no infrastructure in place such as paved roads, highways, water, pipelines, or sewage. We ended up heading back home around 3 a.m. It was a long drive back, and by the time I arrived, it was already daylight. All in all, so far I've been enjoying my time here in Mongolia. Stay tuned for more here in the next video.